Can your hair look any more puffier after you wash it? I don't even know. So in today's video, we are going to be looking at the Charlotte Tilbury Holiday Palette, the Starry Eyes to Hypnotize. If you want to see how I got this look using this palette, then just keep watching. So before we get into the how-to and how I exactly use the palette as far as the tutorial portion of the video, let's just take a little look at the palette itself. It does come in this outer box, and whenever you open it, the palette looks like this. I got mine on her first launch. There was like this preview launch and it was going to not be available. That sure didn't last long. I thought that, boy, I better get on it now because it wasn't going to be available until like Christmas time or something. But it's available now if you want it. So that did not last long. So anyway, she's got her whole holiday collection out there now. She's got her new 2019 Advent calendar. This palette, she's got some of her Hot Lips 2 minis and a whole Hot Lips 2 lip wardrobe. Just a lot of things over there on her website. But this palette is keeping in line with the same way that her palette looked last year. There are 4 separate eye looks, so it is a 12-pan palette. It retails for a whopping $75. So this puppy is expensive. So we are going to get into the video. If you want to see a look using the palette, see it compared to last year's palette, and see my thoughts on it and how I got this look, then just keep watching. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, it's really easy. All you've got to do is click the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, and then that way you'll be notified when I post further content to my channel. So let's get started. What have I got done already? I have went ahead and I put on my foundation and my concealer, and I have my brows done because you don't need to see me do that. In my Shop My Stash video, I pulled in La Mer, the Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation. I do not want this to go to waste. I don't want it to ruin because I did spend a pretty penny for this. So I have pulled it into Shop My Stash, and guys, this is so beautiful. I am in the shade Linen, and this foundation, it just gets better and better and better the longer you wear it. If you don't want to like it, don't try it. Let me just say that. If you don't want to like this foundation, don't pick it up, don't try it, don't get a sample of it, because it is gorgeous. I used the Wander Beauty Brow Pencil. I love this. I picked up this e.l.f. Jelly Pop Flush Blush, and guys, this is so pretty. So it has this wiggly liquidy texture. I don't know if you can see that. And then if you just touch it to your cheek and just kind of rub it in, it has the most beautiful natural looking flush to your skin. I am just loving this for a very natural, no makeup look. It is just beautiful. I just love it. I just can't get enough of this. It's just gorgeous. After I rub it in, I just take my brush that I used for my foundation, and then I just kind of buff it into my skin. But I am a really big cream makeup person. I love, you know, things like nude sticks and just anything that has a cream texture to it. So I just use this is my Sun Yuji Base 1. I use this to put on my foundation with, and of course I've wiped most of my foundation off of it because immediately after I use a brush, I wipe it on a microfiber towel to kind of clean off the brush. but it just gives the nicest little glow to your skin, a nice flush. I am loving this, and it looks like this. So I really, really like that. I saw these little travel size, and this is the Ambient Lighting Bronzer, and this is in Diffused Bronze Light, and I have been really liking this. I'm just going to use some of this as my bronzer today. Getting into the heart of things. This is the new holiday palette, and this is called Starry Eyes to Hypnotise. 12 eyeshadows for looks, because she groups them in 3, 3, 3, and 3. So, of course, you can use them however you want to. But the outer packaging is just really, really pretty. I love the outer packaging. I love a white flocked tree done in blue for the holidays. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and blue and silver. Oh, just absolutely gorgeous for the holidays. And so this packaging really appeals to me. It's just absolutely beautiful when you open it up. And the back is beautiful too. There's no silver on the back, but it's just this beautiful blue color. And it's, when you open it up, you've got your shades in here. And 2 of the trios are completely new shades that I have not seen her do in her holiday palettes before, and that's this shade, which is a sagey green look, and then this shade, which is a silvery, smoky, midnight looking tones in here, and they're just really, really beautiful. So that really spoke to me, especially the sagey green. Green's my favorite color. It just really, really spoke to me. But these are very typical of her palettes, these types of hues in here. And so I thought that we would look and compare. So I have the palette from last year, and so that one, while there are some similarities, it had a very plummy looking trio at the end of it. And so the one that I see that does look very, very similar, you can see that the Love Glow looks somewhat similar to the Happy Eyes. If you look at that, it's very, very similar. So this trio here looks very similar to this trio here, while this trio here to me looks very similar to this trio here. So from the last year's palette, you had Power Eyes that really is reminding me of Happy Glow from this year, and then you had Happy Eyes here in this trio that is reminding me of Love Glow in this palette. So there's not straight up dupes, but there are similarities in the first 2 trios with last year's holiday palette. So if you have last year's holiday palette, then you're going to have to decide, how bad do you really want the sagey green and blues? Because that's really what's going to determine whether or not you really want to purchase this. So if you're really not into the sagey greens or the blues, then I would definitely say you should skip on this year's holiday palette. If you really want the sagey greens and the smoky blues, then you may want to go ahead and pick this up. But, you know, for 2 trios for $75, if you have last year's palette, that's a pretty high price tag. That's pretty steep. and they are very, very similar. I would say that for the first two trios, you can get that same exact look out of last year's palette, definitely. So, you know, you have to weigh that, and especially if you picked up the palette that was at the Nordstrom anniversary sale, you can definitely get the looks that you want from that palette plus last year's holiday palette. So, you know, you would really be paying the $75 just for the sage and the blue trios. And I think that if you're not interested in the sage or the blues, definitely go for the Icon palette. For today, I thought that we would do a look with Seduce Glow down here, which is the blue trio, the smoky blue trio, and see how that turns out, and then maybe that will help you make up your mind. I'm going to go in with this color here. That's the light blue shade, and I'm just going to go in all over my mobile lid. I do really like Charlotte's formula. I think it is a beautiful formula. I think that for all of her shades, you can really, even the ones that are shimmery, you can use them on your crease and on your orbital bone. I think that it makes for a very quick eye look. I'm going to grab a smaller brush. This is the JH40 Morphe x Jaclyn Hill brush, just to get a little bit more definition in my inner corner. But I'm still just using that slate blue, slate gray color. I'm just building up the color on the mobile lid. Now I'm going to go in with a Sigma E42 Precision Firm Blender, and I'm going to go in to this shade right here that is this really dark color. And I'm just going to put that in my outer V. And I'm just going to smoke this out just a little bit more. And give this like a holiday party look. And I really like this E42 Precision Firm Blender because it's really, really small. And so it gets in the crease really good. So if you really want to get inside that crease, then you can really get in there and really deepen this up. And then you can go back and just blend, blend, blend. And be sure that you don't have any harsh edges. And then we'll just take that underneath. And I definitely don't have any powder down yet. So we're going to go in with this color that is the very lightest color, and we're going to just put that right in the center of our lid and give it a little bit of pop. That's not wanting to come off very good. And it might be just because our look is so dark. So let's see if I get a brush, some spray, kind of halo the eye out a little bit. Okay, I'm liking that. So that just kind of tones it down just a little bit. The shadow is pretty soft. Okay, so I'm liking that as far as the eyes look. I'll let you see that. So that looks really nice. And so I'll just finish up my eyes with my mascara and my eyeliner, and I'll be right back and give you my final thoughts about the palette. Okay guys, I am back with the finished look, and I have put on some Huda lashes in Samantha, and I love lashes with a holiday glam look, and I used a little bit of my Marc Jacobs eyeliner. I don't even think that I put on any mascara. I think I totally like space cadeted it. But I did use my Hank and Henry, let's see, I used my Hank and Henry in Blickety Black just to put on some eyeliner before I put on my lashes. And I also used the Hank and Henry Nightlight Brilliant Pearls highlight. This is what that looks like. I have really been using this and loving this a lot. I set my face with the Magic Powder, and this is in Fair Pale, the Charlotte Tilbury powder. And then let's see, I used for a lip the Kylie Cosmetics and the NYX Lip Lingerie Gloss. I used the NYX in Bear With Me, and it's this color. It's just a really, really, I basically just wanted a barely there lip color because the eye look was so strong. And then I put a little bit of Koko K on top of it. It's basically the same color. This is the finished look. I think it's a very nighttime, smoky, holiday-ish looking. So I'm really liking that. So let's talk about the palette. Basically, you know, I just got complete. I am a big Charlotte fan, okay? I'm a big Charlotte fan. And I seem to get suckered into these holiday. I get suckered into holiday releases. I know. I'm so, I just can't help myself. And so, last year, what really did it for me was I just loved all of the shades that seemed to be in last year's release. I personally would not have gotten this year's release if it hadn't have been for that real mossy green and that blue shade. It just suckered me in. I was really disappointed with the fact that I thought that the Power Eyes and the Happy Eyes right here, the two in the middle, I really, really thought were somewhat duped in the palette from this year. In the shades, the Happy Glow and the Love Glow right here at the beginning of the palette. I really feel like that there's a lot of overlap in last year's palette with this year's palette. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more on the purple side, a little bit more, you know, on the plum purple, and maybe a little bit less on this. I know that Pillow Talk is her bestseller, but I would have loved to have seen a little bit more in the realm of something deeper, maybe along the realm of Walk of Shame, a little bit more in the violet plum side. And so that would have rounded out the palette in a very, very good way for me. But I do love the option that she has for this smoky glam. I think that I will love the option that she has for the mossy green. But, you know, you're going to have to decide if that's enough. If you don't already have last year's palette, then great, pick it up. It's a great palette. If you do already have last year's palette, then you're going to be in the same boat I am with a few dupes. and you're going to have to decide, you know, if that whopping price tag is worth it for you. So, you know, if you have last year's palette and you don't have the Icon palette is cheaper than this palette, and it would be my advice, grab the Icon palette, and I think you'll be much better served with a lot more looks that you can get and less overlap. That's my advice. But, you know, that's just the penny for my thought. And so, you know, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I enjoyed playing with this new makeup, and I enjoyed talking to you about it. And so if you did enjoy this video, please remember to give me a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you would like to be, it's really easy. All you have to do is click the big red subscribe button below and ring the notification bell while you're there, and YouTube will notify you when there's new content posted on my channel. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now, guys. Smoky.